Good morning and welcome to historic Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside with me, Evan Schmeiser here on the call as you are watching the Bombers and Coyotes face off in PSCL action this morning. Nolan Maldonado stepping into the batter's box, the lefty, going up against Chris Aguilar for the Coyotes, who's going to be on the mound to start things off. A little righty on lefty action here. There's a first pitch there from Aguilar. Fastball upstairs. 1-0 the count to Maldonado.
Maldonado's showing bunt right there. I think it's the first time I've seen a leadoff batter show bunted off. So this will be the fourth time Chris Aguilar's pitched this season. He's gone 6 1/3 so far. 3 strikeouts to his credit. 16 hits allowed.
So 2-0 the count. Maldonado, he's going to be over in left field. We've also seen him pitch a lot for the Bombers as well. One of their good pitchers on the staff is breaking ball inside. 2-1 the count.
I tell you, George, time has really flown by from the start of this season. Playoffs coming up on Wednesday, the 6th. As far as playoffs are concerned, both these teams only separated by a game and a half. Bombers coming into today at 3-9, Coyotes at 4-7, and frankly for the Bombers, this is especially a big game for them. Don Bray, manager of the A's, yesterday was just telling us the 12 and 13 seeds basically will face off in a one-game playoff in order to make it into the playoffs, essentially kind of like the NBA play-in. So the Bombers right now are positioned 13, so they're trying to get out of that.
Here's a 2-2 from Aguilar. Going to be fastball up and away, full count. Bombers are probably one of the hotter teams right now in the PSCL. Even though they lost their previous game, they went 3-1 in their last 4 games played. Here's the 3-2. That's going to be ball number 4, leadoff walk for Nolan Maldonado. And stepping in the batter's box now, it's going to be Aiden King for the Bombers.
King hitting a $118 so far, 3 RBIs. A couple runs scored to his credit.
As that's going to be ripped into foul territory. King pulled on that one, 0-1 the count for him. Coyotes coming into the ballgame on a 6-game losing streak, as they sit in 13th place in the PSCL. Here's the 0-1 from Aguilar. Breaking ball swung on and missed. King down in the count 0-2 quickly here, top of the first inning.
Also wondering if we'll see Maldonado try and take off from first base. He's stolen a couple bases so far this season. Bombers come into this game lowest ranked team as far as total offense and stolen bases are concerned. So any bit of offense would definitely help.
Aguilar throwing in the mid-70s as that's going to be fouled and
just foul. I like the heads-up play, though, from Nico Cristelli behind the plate, popping up quickly just in case it was a fair ball, going to tag the batter and maybe try and get an out at second.
Covering all his bases there. No pun intended. It's going to be an 0-2 count for Aiden King.
That was pretty good, George.
Maldonado on first, he was walked. There's the 0-2, popped up into the air. Murphy getting underneath that second for out number 1. As Maldonado going to stay safe on first. He's not going to tag up because, well, why would he if it's over to Murphy on second, which brings up Paul Gonzalez, a third baseman. Lefty for the Bombers.
Gonzalez hitting a $111 this season. On base percentage, well over 400 with 5 walks drawn.
Pitch from Aguilar inside. Outer half of the strike zone, 0-1 the count. Gonzalez with a little bit of a wider stance in the lefty batter's box. With Maldonado on first and 1 out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another pitch getting inside on the outer half for strike number 2. Peyton the Black around home plate there.
That outside strike to the lefties has been wide open so far.
On deck is Jason Del Villar, as that's going to get Gonzalez looking for strike number 3. 3-pitch strikeout there for Aguilar, 2 down with 1 runner on.
Something to keep in mind for all these hitters, especially the lefties so far. You have to make that adjustment along with that outside pitch, especially if that's going to be called throughout the game. Del Villar hitting .231, couple doubles, 2 runs scored.
1-0 count for Jason Del Villar, the catcher for the Bombers this morning.
I think now would be a great time for Maldonado to take off, especially with 2 outs. Oh,
there he goes, and they got him in a
movement.
pickle. As Murphy going to run him down back
wow,
over
he's
to
safe.
first, and they call him out.
Well,
As Nolan Maldonado caught himself in a pickle, that's going to retire the inning. And we're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. It's going to be Eric Romero, Ziembrono, and Max McGee. The 3 due up next for the Coyotes when we return. Here we are set for the bottom half of the first inning between the Bombers and Coyotes. Eric Romero going to lead things off. George Hathaway alongside Evan Schmeiser here, Palm Springs Stadium, for some early morning PSCL action. Nobody's scored yet. Coyotes looking to be the first team to do so. Andrew Bench, he's going to be on the mound to start things off. The Bombers going up against Romero, the lefty. It was a very wide stance in that batter's box. As here's a pitch from Bench. He's going to get inside. 0-1 the count to Romero with Alex Ziembrono on deck.
Bench has been very solid for the Bombers. 3.75 ERAs in 12 innings. Kept the walks down, only 7. Whopping 17 strikeouts, though.
1-1 the count for Romero.
Here's how the Bombers look in the field right now. Nolan Maldonado, Matt Panziga, Aiden King, left center and right field. Paul Gonzalez, Aiden Weinstein, Toby Yoshida, Troy Holland. Is the infield, Jason Del Villar behind the plate, and of course Andrew Bench on the mound.
2-1 the count. Bench gets set. Here's the kick. Fastball going to get inside 2-2 the count.
Romero hitting .444 so far this season. 1 home run to his credit. Only 1 RBI. OPS well over 1,000.
Breaking ball down and away, full count for Romero. Coyotes, they are in 13th place in the PSCL. Looking to snap a 6-game losing streak against one of the hotter teams, the Bombers. As that's going to be fouled back, count still stands full.
Well, George, it'd be absolutely huge for the Coyotes, especially to try and get a couple early runs here. Bombers are the lowest ranked offense coming into today, so any amount of runs put up against them, they'll make it a lot tougher.
Here's a 3-2 from Bench. Fastball up high, ball 4. Very similar to the top of the first inning where Maldonado, the leadoff hitter, was walked. Now Romero was walked for the Coyotes, which brings up Alex Zambrano.
Zambrano hitting .214. The double to his credit, 5 walks, on base percentage over .400.
So no outs, 1 runner on here. Bottom of the first inning. Nobody scored yet. Now here's a pitch from Bench. Gonna be upstairs, 1-0 the count. .1-0 from Bench as Romero gonna go over to second. He's gonna steal safely there. 2-0 the count to Zambrano with a runner in scoring position, Romero.
That was an excellent throw from Jason Del Villar behind the plate. It was perfect, right on the money. Just a little bit too good of a jump from Eric Romero and just too much speed.
Del Villar going to go talk over to Bench on the mound. They're going to have a quick meeting as we await the 2-0 pitch to Zambrano.
Coyotes are right in the middle of the pack as far as stealing base is concerned, coming into today with 26. So that'll go up to 27 total for the team. Bombers, they're at the bottom in 13th, just 12 stolen bases coming into today.
Bench looking back over to Romero on second. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed with the fastball there. 2-1 the count. Yoshida going over to cover on second, trying to apply a little bit of pressure to Romero, who's going to have a 5-stride lead over on second.
Well, an opportunity for the Coyotes right with a man on second and nobody out. Big hole over on the right side. Perhaps Zambrano can try and go the other way with the pitch and at least advance Romero to third.
2-1 going to be popped up into the air, shallow center field. Panzica running in to grab it and going to tag up is Romero. So 1 out after a long at-bat there from Zambrano is going to put Romero on third with Max McGee stepping to the batter's box now for the Coyotes.
And you know, that's one of those balls. You wonder if the sun had a little bit to play with that one. I thought Toby Yoshida probably would have had the best chance at that over at second base. He was positioned in a bit of a different area. Panzica and center made a great effort on it, but not able to come up with the ball.
Excuse me, Zambrano is going to be safe over on first as that was dropped by Panzica. Looked like he caught it, and it must have just fell right out of his glove. So 2 runners are going to be on. As here's a pitch from Bench, going to be a fastball up high, 2-0 the count to McGee. So runners on the corners with no outs, breaking ball down low, 3-0 count for McGee with Ben Combs on deck.
Well, frankly, I'm green lighting McGee. Hitting .278, Looking for that first X base. He's already driven in 3 runs this season. I'd be aggressive in the strike zone.
Fastball inside, 3-1.
Really good chance McGee will get that same pitch right here. Fastball on the lower half in the middle of the plate. Bombers will gladly give up a run to try and turn a double play.
Here's a 3-1 from Bench. Way upstairs, and that's going to be ball 4. Bases loaded now for the Coyotes, which brings up Ben Combs batting cleanup.
This is a bit of a danger zone right now for the Bombers. They have been one of the more offensively challenged teams throughout the season. Coyotes been middle of the pack as far as scoring runs is concerned. So if the Coyotes are to put up a crooked number here in the first inning, that makes things really, really difficult for the Bombers.
No outs, bases loaded, bottom of the first inning. With Ben Combs, a cleanup hitter, check swing there.
Look out.
This will be 0-1 count for Combs.
A foul ball was right over the heads of Ben Combs' teammates by the dugout, and about half of them are saying, hey, that way, hit it that way.
So bases loaded for the Coyotes with no outs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, going to get inside, strike 2.
That was an excellent breaking ball. Combs was definitely sitting fast, but I was a little bit surprised to see that pitch. Now several options for Bench ahead, 0-2, and no doubt looking for a strikeout.
As that's going to be popped up over into the glove of Gonzalez, who's going to
Nice
make
play.
the diving catch to go grab it. So with 1 out, bases are still loaded here.
That was a really nice play from Gonzalez, to say the least. And especially big, they didn't let that ball hit the ground. Doesn't have to worry about throwing to a base. Good base running from everyone out there to not try and advance, not get doubled off or anything like that. So big out for Bench, but still a big opportunity for the Coyotes.
Garrett Reed in the batter's box now with 1 out for the Coyotes. McGee on first, Zambrano on second, and Romero on third. 1-0 count for Reed.
Frankly, if you're the Bombers, you're only 1 pitch from possibly getting out of this inning unscathed. Even if you allow 1 run, all things considered, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Here's a 1-0. Fastball inside, 1-1 the count to Reed.
Well, frankly, Reed's the guy you want up right now. 5 doubles, 5 RBIs to his credit. Chance to do some major damage for the Coyotes.
Here's a 1-1 from Bench. Breaking ball. Getting the inside half of that strike zone there. 1-2 the count.
Talk about some big-time pitching right here from Bench. Really good fastball in the outer half, and comes back with that breaking ball. Started it at Reed, ran it back over the inside part of the plate, and now he's in control of this at-bat ahead 1-2.
1-2. Bench kicks, deals. That's going to be ripped in a left field for a base hit. As 2 runs going to come in. They're waving on home. McGee to third. On home. So 3 runs are going to score. Garrett Reed with a bases clearing double. And that puts the Coyotes up 3-0 in the bottom of the first inning.
Talk about a big-time blow from Reed, his 6th double of the season. Clearing the bases, driving in 3 runs. Bench tried another breaking ball after getting strike 2. That time, no. He started in the strike zone, was a little more flat and hung it. And Garrett Reed did exactly what he needed to do in a mistake like that, and he hammered it into the corner.
Another hit going to drop into left field for Phil Dimas. 1 pitch, 1 hit. And they're waving on home Reed, who's going to walk in standing up. And now that puts the Coyotes up 4-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. After an RBI single there from Phil Dimas.
Well, excellent approach there from Dimas. He went up there, a hunting fastball. He got one up in the strike zone. He didn't try to do too much with it, and got good wood on the ball and delivered that into center field.
Nico Cristelli, he's at the plate as that's going to be a fastball up and in. 1-0 the count.
Talk about a big shift in this inning, George. A moment ago, Andrew Bench is ahead 1-2 with 1 out, chance to try and get out of this inning. Then you have the double, and first pitch swinging is Dimas with that RBI single. And just like that, it's 4-0.
Another fastball upstairs, 2-0 the count. With one out, one runner on. Dimas on first. With Tyler Murphy, he's on deck with one out. So back-to-back hits going into left field. As here's a 2-0 pitch from Bench. We're going to get into the strike zone for the first strike, 2-1.
That's not a bad take by any means for Cristelli. That pitch was down and away. Tough 2-0 pitch to try and do much with. But stay aggressive in that strike zone if you're the Coyotes. Served them well so far this inning.
Cristelli leaning out of the way of that pitch there from Bench as he's up in the count 3-1. The double from Reed came off the bat at 86 miles an hour, and Dimas' single was 87. So here's a 3-1 from Bench. Full count now, breaking ball inside for strike 2. So 3 hits for the Coyotes puts them up 4-0 in the bottom of the first inning. As that's going to be hit over into center field. Panzika getting underneath that one. And Dimas going to be safe over on first as he had to run back.
Well, I like the decision of starting the runner with the count going full. A pretty good swing there from Cristelli. Just hit it right to the center fielder, Panzika. And good heads-up base running from Phil Dimas to scurry on back to first.
So with 2 outs with 1 runner on, it's Tyler Murphy. Fastball going to get inside 0-1 the count. Here's the 0-1 from Bench, going to be fouled back, count 0-2 for Murphy. Second baseman for the Coyotes second baseman today, Tyler Murphy. Batting in the 8th spot with Dimas on first with 2 outs. Here's the 0-2. Dimas going to go. Ball upstairs, and the throw in time is not there. Is Dimas going to be safe? Second stolen base today from the Coyotes.
Well, I definitely like the aggression, especially on a 2-strike count. The worst thing that happens is Tyler Murphy just comes back up to start the second inning. Now you have an opportunity with another man in scoring position. Don Bray was even talking to us yesterday. Love seeing teams try and steal bases. It does the catchers and pitchers a favor, trying to work on the base run as that ball gets away.
So now Dimas, he's going to be up over at third, 90 feet away from home. Have some action in the Bombers' bullpen already. So it looks like Ronan Nuki warming up to our left. 2-2 is the count for Tyler Murphy at the plate with Dimas over on third. And for stolen base and pass ball, gets him over there.
I'm looking fastball if I'm Murphy. Bench doesn't want to bounce another curveball here.
As that's going to be popped up into the air. And that's going to be out of play. 2-2 the count still for Tyler Murphy with 2 outs, 1 runner on. Bottom of the first inning. Coyotes, they're up 4-0 against the Bombers. Looking to snap a 6-game losing streak as they're in dead last in the PSCL. Here's a 2-2 for Bench. Going to be out and away. Count is now full. Bench kicks and deals a 3-2. Again fouled off. Long at bat here for Tyler Murphy.
Absolutely. Yeah, really excellent job from Murphy at the plate right now, fouling off a few tough pitches, making Andrew Bench really work on the mound. He's already allowed 4 runs. They already have somebody up in the Bombers' bullpen. Advantage Coyotes by every means you can think of.
Full count, breaking ball there, going to be down low. So runners now on the corners with Joseph Cook batting in the 9th spot for the Coyotes, now going to be stepping in the batter's box.
I really do wonder how much of a leash the Bombers are going to give to Andrew Bench. He did throw an inning last night in the PSCL uncommitted game against the Power. I know it's the end of the regular season. Might have a little bit of rest time between the final regular season game and the postseason beginning.
That's going to be chopped up, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Dimas coming in to score. With Murphy advancing over to second, Cook now on first after a base hit there. "38 pitches for Andrew Bench, allowed 4 hits, 5 runs. Looks like they're going to have a conversation on the mound here in the bottom of the first inning.
I think they are going to stick with Bench for now. Frankly, if you're the Bombers, I feel like you need to get some innings out of him. I mean, fortunately, all these PSCL teams do have the 2-hour time limit in mind. Frankly, that's been a benefit to save a lot of these teams' pitching staffs. But it puts you in a tough spot if your best starting pitcher isn't able to get through the first inning. Frankly, this puts the Coyotes in an excellent spot because Bombers still could have opportunities. The Coyotes have allowed the most runs out of all 13 teams in the league. So I know the Bombers have been a bit offensively challenged at times, but if they're going to put up a major runs today, this is the team to do it against.
Brings up the 10-hole hitter, Chris Aguilar. He's started on the mound for the Coyotes as well. 2 outs, 2 runners on, as the Coyotes have a 5-0 lead here, bottom of the first inning. It's a pitch there from Bench. They're going to say it hit him.
Yeah, I could hear...
Just grazed.
Yeah, I could hear that extra sound come into the catcher's glove, kind of the choo-choo. Based on Aguilar's reaction, I almost wondered if that hit his bat. So he wasn't going to first right away.
So right after the mound meeting there from the Bombers, bases are loaded with 2 outs. Back to the top of the order, Eric Romero. He was walked, stole a base, and scored a run, as that's going to be fouled off. 0-1 the count for him. So 2 outs, bases loaded for the Coyotes. They're up 5-0, bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, if you're Bench, you need to try and just get through this any way you can, see if you can at least settle into the rest of this game.
0-1, breaking ball inside for strike 2. So it's going to be Murphy on third, Cook on second, Aguilar on first. 4 hits allowed here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 0-2 from Bench. Breaking ball going to get away from Del Villar. Runners going to stay where they are.
For Andrew Bench, just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning, and just try and settle in from here. If you're Bench right now, you got to give your team some innings.
It's all about finding the rhythm here. With the 1-2 count, with bases loaded, 2 outs, Bench gets set on the hill. Here's the pitcher, Romero. Going to be upstairs. Del Villar had to stand up to grab that one. 2-2 is the count.
On a 2-2 count, whatever it is right now, I expect to see Andrew Bench's best pitch. Whether it's the breaking ball or the fastball.
The 2-2 going to be fouled back. Romero still staying alive.
I went with the fastball. I think it was trying to go inside, missed the spot a little bit out over the plate. Romero fouled it back. I think about trying another fastball, really try and get it in on his hands.
Here's a 2-2 from Bench, going to be fouled off towards the third base concessions over there. So count is still 2-2.
Looked like he tried another fastball on the outer part of the plate. A little bit of a better swing on that one from Romero. Starting to time Bench up just a little bit, perhaps.
Bench gets set on the mound. Bases loaded. Here's the 2-2.
Ooh, the umpire flinched.
So count is now full for Romero, and you're right, Evan, he did flinch. I thought it was going to be called strike 3, because that was a little too inside. So count is now full with bases loaded.
The runners will be off, too.
Here's the 3-2. Popped up into the air, Del Villar. Gonna watch it go out of play. So So a very long at bat here for the leadoff hitter for the Coyotes, Eric Romero. He was walked already in the bottom of the first inning. Stole a base, scored a run. Here we are seeing him again in the inning. Here's the 3-2. Again, popped up, fouled off.
What an excellent at bat so far. Eric Romero refuses to go down. And frankly, George, another base hit here could put this game really out of reach. Base hit should score 2 runs. A ball in the gap could even be 3 runs with everyone off and running on a full count.
Here's going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat here. The 3-2. Going to be chopped up over. Weinstein over at short for out number 3. Going to retire the side, leaving bases loaded. As the Bombers able to get out of a jam there. However, Coyotes are up 5-0. We're going to go top of the second inning. Jason Del Villar, Matt Penzica, Trevor Gruska, the 3 due up next when we return. Here we are, top of the second inning. Jason Del Villar stepping in the batter's box for the Bombers. Coyotes are up 5-0.
And George, that was some inning, to say the least, and several really hard-hit balls from the Coyotes. They sent 11 men to the plate.
50 pitches for Andrew Bench in that inning alone. 1-0 is the count for Del Villar. Here's a pitch from Aguilar, going to be way upstairs, 2-0 the count.
And frankly, if you're the Bombers, here's the approach you need to have. The Coyotes have given up the most runs out of any team in the league. Maybe try and get a couple runs back here in the second, just try and chip away. This game's not necessarily over by any means. You also wonder how sharp Aguilar will be. He was sitting for a long time, probably a good 25 minutes after he threw a 1-2-3 first inning. And if I'm Jason Del Villar here, you need base runners, I'm definitely taking 3-0.
Del Villar, the catcher, going to rip that one up over in the left field.
What do I know?
For a base hit.
Well, clearly my advice is no good. That ball was hit hard.
Good leadoff single there from Jason Del Villar. That brings up Matt Penzica.
Well, now I'm very happy that Jason Del Villar did not take my advice. That ball was hit really well into left field. He got a 3-0, basically batting practice fast to try and get one over, and Del Villar did a nice job with it. Put a good swing on the ball and hit it hard in the left.
So with no outs, 1 runner on, it's Matt Penzica, a center fielder for the Bombers, as we're going to have a pinch runner come in for Del Villar.
Looks like Cooper Winton is going to be the special pinch runner for Del Villar, the catcher. Winton has stolen 5 bases this season. Heck, I'd be surprised to see him on the move, trailing by 5 runs. Good lead, though.
And pitch going to be upstairs. 1-0 the count for Panzica. Bombers coming into the ball game 4-7, 5.5 games back from first place, the A's. And the Coyotes 3-9 in 13th place. They're looking to snap a 6-game losing streak as they're up 5 runs already here in the top of the second inning. 2-0 the count. That pitch from Aguilar breaking ball down low.
I know we had the really hard hit ball from Del Villar on the 3-0 pitch to start this inning, but frankly, 5 out of the first 6 pitches this inning have been out of the strike zone. I'm taking one here.
Fastball going to be down low. 3-0 the count now for Panzica.
And Del Villar proved me wrong once already. I'd still say I put the take sign on here with a 3-0 count. You need base runs if you're the Bombers. He was taking all the way.
That's going to be ball number 4. Runners on first and second for the Bombers here, top of the second inning. Second walk of the day for Chris Aguilar. Which brings up Trevor Gruska to the plate for the Bombers here. With no outs, Del Villar in scoring position on second.
And sometimes this can be a really difficult thing for a pitcher. Sitting for a long time and then you have to get back up to go back out for the second. You wonder how much intensity you have after being staked to a 5-run lead. The best approach is, of course, trying to pretend it's a 0-0 game. Easier said than done. But if you're Chris Aguilar, you just got to try and get back in the strike zone. Let them put the ball in play. Maybe your defense can make something happen.
Aguilar looks back over on second. Fastball up high. 1-0 to count to Gruska as Cristelli had to extend on that one.
So far, 8 balls out of the zone. Just 1 strike in this inning from Aguilar. I still put the take sign off on Gruska.
Fastball inside,
wow.
1-1.
Talk about a pitcher's pitch, George. Not much reaction there from Gruska. Frankly, the dugouts probably can't tell inside-outside quite as much.
1-1 is the count with 2 runners on, no outs. Popped up high into the air. Cristelli chasing it foul territory. Gonna watch that one hit the bleachers. So 1-2 is the count for Gruska with no outs. Del Villar on second, Panzica on first. He was walked a moment ago. Here's a 1-2 from Aguilar, going to be chopped up over to first, and that's going to be fouled off.
Well, a break there for the Coyotes. That ball scooted by. Ben Combs took a bit of a crazy hop. It was spinning like crazy. Fortunately, it went foul. As far as the Coyotes' defense is concerned, Phil Demas, Eric Romero, Max McGee, left center and right field, Alex Zambrano, Garrett Reed, Tyler Murphy, Ben Combs are the infielders, Nico Cristelli behind the plate, of course Aguilar working his second inning on the mound.
Aguilar gets set, and here's the 1-2. Breaking ball down low, count is 2-2.
Pretty good idea there. Trying to run that pitch back along the inside part of the plate to the lefty. Just didn't quite get the call.
Johnny Young, he's on deck for the Bombers. Here's the 2-2. Down and away, count is full for Trevor Gruska.
Frankly, if I'm Cristelli and Chris Aguilar on the mound, I'm setting up with a fastball right down the middle. You're up 5-0. Make Trevor Gruska put a ball in play and make him beat you. The absolute worst that Gruska can do is make it 5-3.
There's the pitch, and that's to be popped up into the air. Shallow center field. Romero chasing it, and the beautiful throw up over to Zambrano. That's going to hold runners where they are. So Del Villar still on second. Penzica over on first with 1 out.
That's absolutely a big out right there, especially after walking the first, well, putting the first 2 men on this inning, struggling to find a strike zone just a little bit. It looks like Aguilar just threw a fastball, aimed it right down the middle, goes, hey, Trevor Gruska, here's my best fastball, and he got the fly ball out.
2 runners on, 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Coyotes up 5-0 over the Bombers. 1-0 is the count for Johnny Young.
Now if I'm Young, I'm hunting for a fastball in the middle of the plate, trying to be aggressive in the strike zone and get my team on the board.
Here's a 1-0. That's going to be ripped right past over Zambrano on third, as they're going to hold up Del Villar on third. So bases loaded for the Bombers with 1 out here in the top of the second inning.
And not sure what the official score on that play is going to be. That ball was absolutely ripped, though. Good swing from Johnny Young, aggressive on the fastball towards the middle of the plate, and a good effort from Zambrano over at third, trying to get it on 1 hop. Just they don't call it the hot corner for nothing, George.
So 1 out, bases going to be loaded for the Bombers. Top of the second inning. They trail by 5 runs.
Looks like Gavin Frazier is going to go over and run for Young over at first. So that will go down as a base hit for Young. Ball was absolutely scalded to third.
Breaking ball going to paint the black around home plate. 0-1 the count for Troy Holland.
George, I don't think Holland was all that happy about that pitch on the outside part of the play. I will say it's been consistently called the strike today, that outside part to the lefties.
Here's the 0-1. Going to be ripped right into the glove. Chance for a double play here, and they're able to do so to retire the inning. So Combs gets out number 2, and then the throw to Cristelli is out number 3. That's going to retire the side. Nobody able to score with bases loaded. As the Coyotes are up 5-0, it's going to be Zambrano, McGee, and Combs. The 3 due up next, bottom of the second inning when we return. Here we are, bottom of the second inning. George Hathaway alongside Evan Schmeiser here on the call. Alex Zambrano, he's going to be batting for the Coyotes. He'll lead things off in the bottom of the second inning. And it's going to be Nuki pitching for the Bombers.
So this will be Ronan Nuki's 5th outing of the season. He's gone 6 2/3 innings. That's 6 earned runs, 5 strikeouts to his credit.
So Andrew Bench pitched for 1 inning. Had 4 hits, 5 runs, 0 strikeouts. As the first pitch there from Nuki going to be out and away. 1-0 the count for Zambrano, who had a base hit in the bottom of the first and was able to score one of the 5 runs.
And George, that last inning, that's got to be an absolute backbreaker if you're the Bombers. You're able to load the bases, take advantage of some command issues on the mound, a couple hard hit balls, and then you get a 3-2 double play. Tag the bag, throw the home plate. That's tough. It looked like Bombers could have had a couple runs right there, but not the case.
Coyotes up 5-0. That's going to be a 3-0 count for Zambrano. Here's the pitch from Nuki. Slider going to get inside for a 3-1 count. As another slider inside, down low of the strike zone. 3-2 is the count for Zambrano.
And good work from Nuki working his way back into the count 3-2. If I'm Alex Zambrano, I'm still looking for a fastball. Let's try and put something in play.
3-2 going to be ripped into foul territory. Count still stands full with Max McGee on deck.
Let's see how the schedule looks for today, George. So the Grizzlies are playing the Lumberjacks over on the turf field as we speak. Lumberjacks, they trail by a game or so in the standings. And next game at the stadium will be the Bootleggers and the Green Dragons. Right here on the same YouTube link.
Still full count for Zambrano. Third baseman for the Coyotes. Is that pitch going to be upstairs, ball 4. So back-to-back leadoff walks for the Bombers pitching here in the ball game. Max McGee going to get set into the batter's box. He was also walked in the bottom of the first inning and he scored a run.
And if I'm the Bombers, a double play would just absolutely be huge to try and get some momentum back on your side. You give it a 5 spot in the first, you load the bases with 1 out, hit into a double play, you don't get anything. Bombers need something to go their way. See, if they don't win this game today, if they're able to put a few runs on the board, make it reasonably competitive, that could at least help them out going into tomorrow.
Here's the 0-1, going to be fouled off towards the right field concourse. 0-2 the count for McGee.
Now, I've been in handfuls of games kind of like this, George, where it seems like everything's going the other team's way and nothing's going your way. You feel a lot better about yourself if you're able to make something happen as far as trying to take a positive away from the day and then get ready for tomorrow.
Fastball way up high, 1-2 the count. McGee leaning out of the way of the pitch there. Righty on righty action with Nuki. His first time we're seeing him on the mound today. Here's a 1-2. Going to be fouled off again towards that right field concourse. Count still stands 1-2 for McGee. Ben Combs, he's on deck.
And you got to give these Coyotes hitters a lot of credit. They fouled off some tough pitches, several at-bats with deep counts, multiple foul balls with 2 strikes as part of what drove Andrew Bench's pitch count up to 50 in the first inning. Already, McGee making things tough on the Bombers again.
Chopped up over to Yoshida at second. He's going to flip it up over to Weinstein for out number 1.
That was a heck of a play. My goodness. It looked like Yoshida just flipped that one completely behind him in order to get the out. I'm not sure how much he was even looking at the bag, but a heck of an athletic play.
So fielder's choice brings McGee safe on first. Ben Combs made a great play at first over in the top of the second inning. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And he's going to hit that one up over to right field. And making the catch on one knee is King for out number 2.
I give the Bombers a lot of credit. Even trailing 5-0 the way the game's gone so far for them. Two excellent plays in the field, something that at least the team and Toby Yoshida and Aiden King can take away from today if they aren't able to do anything else. Toby Yoshida with the excellent flip play, staying aggressive, could have easily gone the first, chose to still stay aggressive and get the lead runner. And good running grab from Aiden King down the line.
So 2 outs. McGee, the lone runner, on. 0-1 the count. It's going to be Garrett Reed. Reed had a bases clearing double. He's going to hit that one up high into the air, shallow right field. King chasing it in the sun, and he's going to drop it. And with 2 outs running, McGee now on third.
I really wonder how much the sun is having an effect on some of these pop-ups. Now, that ball was way up in the air, of course. I mean, that ball was up there a long time. I wonder if
Has some hang time in there.
Yeah, I wonder if Toby Yoshida, second base, how much he saw. Because that ball wasn't that far away from him, but if you can't see it, then it makes it a lot tougher to try and get it.
So runners on the corners, 0-1 the count for Phil DeMoss, who has a base hit on the day already, scored a run and stole a base. 0-1 is the count, so it can go down as an error on King over in right field. Runners on the corners, here's a pitch there from Nuki, foul tipped 0-2. So DeMoss down on the count, 0-2 against Nuki. Here's the pitch. Fastball up high, 1-2 the count. So McGee's over on third. Garrett Reed over on first after the error previously from King. The 1-2 going to be ripped over in our right field. King, that's going to drop for a base hit and more for Phil DeMoss. 2 runs going to come in to score for the Coyotes, puts them up 7-0 here in the ball game. McGee and Reed come in to score a bases clearing double for Phil DeMoss.
I mean, what an excellent piece of hitting from Phil DeMoss. He got a fastball out of the plate, absolutely hammered it into the right center field alleyway, and that, frankly, the misplay over in shallow right field coming back to haunt the Bombers.
So 2 outs, runner in scoring position, Nico Cristelli. He's at the plate, flew out over to Penzica in the bottom of the first inning. Here's a pitch there from Nuki, fouled away. Oh-1 the count for Cristelli. He's the catcher for the Coyotes here this morning. And that's going to be lined up in the left field. And Maldonado going to scoop that one up for out number 3. Going to retire the side, leaving DeMoss over on second, the lone runner on. However, as we go into the top of the third inning, the Coyotes are up 7-0 here in the ball game. It's going to be Weinstein, Yoshida, and Maldonado, the 3 due up next for the Bombers, top of the third when we return. Here we are, top of the third inning. Aiden Weinstein leading things off. It's going to be the 9, the 10, and the 1 for the Bombers. As they trail by 7 runs to the Coyotes, who are on a 6-game losing streak. Pitch there from Aguilar up high. Some early morning PSCL action. Bombers 4-7 overall. Coyotes 3-9. Another pitch inside, 2-0 the count. As that's going to be chopped right up over to Aguilar. The throw as he's bobbled it in time. So 1 out. As Toby Yoshida steps in the batter's box. After Weinstein just grounded out. Here's a pitch from Aguilar. Popped up into the air. Over to right center.
Nice running grab.
Beautiful play there from Romero in center to track it down. Had some good speed to really cover some ground there.
That was an excellent jump from Romero over in center field. Read that ball really well, knowing he had to go over to his left. And as you said, George, really, really nice closing speed to run that ball down.
So with 2 quick outs, Nolan Maldonado stepping in the left-hand's batter's box for the Bombers here. He's gotten on base once off a walk. Going to hit this one up in the foul territory. 0-1 the count for him. So 2 quick outs to start the top of the third inning. Coyotes up 7-0 over the Bombers. Coyotes 13th in the PSCL. Bombers in 8th place. Bombers are 3-1 in their last 4 games. Here's a 0-1 pitch. Inside, 1-1.
Oh, George, this is a really cool morning, seeing so much action as far as sporting events are concerned. Obviously, we have our game over here. We have the game going on the turf field. Looks like, I think we're seeing maybe a football practice going on in one of the high school fields down there. And I'm seeing what looks like the cross-country team for the Palm Springs Indians High School doing some warm-ups. I like it, George. Keeping the young people moving.
Here's a 2-1 from Aguilar. Fastball upstairs. 3-1 the count. Hitters count for Nolan Maldonado, who walked already in the top of the first inning. Some action in the bullpen to our left for the Bombers. Count is now full once again for Maldonado. Two outs, nobody on. Top of the third inning. Here's a 3-2 to Maldonado. That's going to be ball number 4. Fastball up high. Second time Maldonado's walked in the ball game.
That pitch was close. I know it was off the plate. We've seen that pitch called a strike to left-handed batters more often than not so far today. So I'm a little surprised at that one being called outside.
So it's going to be the right fielder, Aiden King, at the plate. He flew out over to Murphy in his only plate appearance here in the ball game.
I know they're down 7-0 for the Bombers. Chances are the result is going to be the way it is. With that in mind, I wouldn't mind seeing Nolan Maldonado try and steal second base if he's able to get any kind of a jump. Stolen 2 bags already this season, so I'd like to still see the Bombers remain aggressive. After all, they are here to get better, so still treat it like it's a 0-0 score the best way you can.
So Aguilar on the mound for his third inning. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball down low, 1-1. Cristelli able to keep it in front of him. with 2 outs. Maldonado, the lone runner on for the Bombers as they trail by 7 runs. Aguilar gets set on the mound. Here's the 1-1.
Ooh, look out.
As that pitch was thrown there behind King. Count is 2-1, but Cristelli able to quickly get in front of the ball there to grab it before it got past him and Maldonado could advance.
You know, George, that's no fun as a hitter when you see a pitch basically coming right towards the middle of your back or even behind you. That time King was able to get out of the way of it at least.
Aguilar gets set, 2-1.
Ooh.
Another pitch up high in the strike zone. Hitters count 3-1 for King.
Yeah, that's 2 pitches right so far sitting at Chris Aguilar, and Cristelli behind the plate definitely won it and did not get the call.
Breaking ball down low, ball 4. Back-to-back walks here for Aguilar. Maldonado on second. With King on first, it's going to be Paul Gonzalez. Two outs, 2 runners on. 1-0 count here for Paul Gonzalez, third baseman. As that's going to get the outer half of the strike zone, 1-1 the count.
Frank, if I'm Gonzalez, I'm leaning out of the play. I'm looking for that pitch along the outer half. I'm trying to stay through it, stay up the middle, drive the ball in the left center field.
So 1-1 is the count. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Here, top of the third, check swing. This will be 1-2 now the count, as that's going to get, again, painting around the black of home plate, Evan, for strike number 2.
Absolutely. I really like that breaking ball. Excellent change of speeds. Paul Gonzalez got him way out in front. He was looking fastball, and he got that slow pitch.
That's going to get by Cristelli. Runners are going to advance there on the pass ball. Maldonado on third, 90 feet away from home. King on second. As it's a 7-0 ball game, Coyotes are up.
Well, look, now would be a great time for Gonzalez to come up with a base hit. It should put 2 runs on the board, and it'll just feel good for the Bombers to see some kind of crooked number on the scoreboard on their side.
Bombers had bases loaded in the top of the 2nd inning, and the Coyotes were able to get out of it, not allowing a run to score. Here's a 2-2. Breaking ball inside. Count is now full.
You know, a lot of times they say if you're willing to throw a pitch 2-2, then you better be willing to throw it 3-2. We saw a breaking ball there, trying to go back foot to the lefty. Really good take there from Paul Gonzalez. So curious if Aguilar will go with a fastball here or right back to that breaking ball.
Here's a 3-2 from Aguilar. And that was just out and away. Bases loaded again for the 2nd straight inning for the Bombers.
Now we're going to have a meeting on the mound. Frankly, George, I'm not the biggest fan of going 2 breaking balls in a row. You're up 7-0. Hits have been tough to come by for this Bombers offense. I challenge him with a fastball because the worst Paul Gonzalez can do is make it a 7-2 game, essentially. Sometimes when pitchers try and get a little too fancy or trying to be a little too perfect, that's when you end up sometimes walking hitters. Aguilar didn't walk anybody coming into this 3rd inning, so I want to see him get aggressive with his fastball once again, try to get ahead in the count to Jason Delvillar.
So 3 straight walks for Christian Aguilar with 2 outs, bases loaded. Similar situation to last inning in the top of the 2nd. As Coyotes are up 7-0 here, top 3rd. The pitch going to be way upstairs. Cristelli had to leap up to grab that one. 1-0 the count to Jason Delvillar.
Yeah, if I'm Delvillar, I'm taking a pitch right here. Command's become a little bit of an issue here in this 3rd inning for Chris Aguilar. That pitch wasn't remotely close to the strike zone. Find it interesting, nope. Nobody up yet in that Coyote bullpen. Wonder if Bombers able to put a couple runs up this inning, if that's going to change it all.
Another fastball. Cristelli with the extension there, up high, 2-0.
2 straight fastballs missing in the same spot. I'm still keeping that take sign on if I'm Del Villar at the plate.
Has a base hit in the ball game. Here's a 2-0. Popped up into the air in a left center. And that's going to be Dimas getting underneath that, out number 3. Once again, back-to-back innings. Bombers leave bases loaded as they trail by 7 runs. Bottom of the third is going to be Murphy, Cook, Aguilar. 8, 9, 10 due up next when we return. Here we are, bottom of the third inning. George Hathaway alongside Evan Schmeiser. Early morning PSCL action here at Palm Springs Stadium. Coyotes up 7-0 over the Bombers. As Rodman, he's going to be on the mound. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, Zach Rodman, more of a catcher. He's not pitched this season. He's thrown 6 men out stealing, so well, now he can translate his good arm on the mound.
As that's going to drop for a base hit, leadoff single for Tyler Murphy. Which brings up Joseph Cook, batting in that 9 spot.
Pretty good swing there from Tyler Murphy. Turned on that fastball really well.
7 hits, 7 runs for the Coyotes here. Joseph Cook, he's 1 for 1 on the day. Pitch there from Rodman, going to get inside for strike 1. Murphy over on first. Pitch going to be down low, 1-1.
Interesting delivery here from Rodman. Similar to Ronan Nuki, bit of a drop-down sidearm delivery.
The 1-1 pitch, that's going to be on the upper half of the strike zone, 1-2.
But even steps too, it's almost like he's throwing across his body, and like to a right-handed batter, the ball's starting behind them. It doesn't look like a comfortable at bat.
Chris Aguilar on deck. No outs here, bottom of the third, 1 runner on. Here's a pitch from Rodman, going to be down and away. 2-2 the count now for Cook.
I'll tell you what, George, I never liked facing right-handed sidearm delivery pitches, especially when they have a pretty good breaking ball. I don't think a good one that we saw right there from Zach Rodman. Just never felt comfortable.
He popped up over to Yoshida, who's going to bobble it there. That's going to go down as an error on him. So E4 in the books, which advances Murphy up over to second. Chris Aguilar stepping in the batter's box. He's been pitching really well for the Coyotes, only allowed 2 hits. So 2 runners on with no outs. Here's the pitch from Rodman. Fouled back, 0-1 the count. Aguilar was hit by a pitch in his only plate appearance.
The ball almost sounded like might have hit his knuckles on the swing. Doesn't look like the way he reacted, but a weird sound coming off the bat there as it went foul.
0-1 is the count. Rodman looks back at second to Murphy. Here's the pitch. Gonna be fastball a little up high. 1-1 the count. No outs, 2 runners on for the Coyotes, who have a commanding 7-0 lead over the Bombers. Here's a 1-1. Swung on and missed. That's going to be 1-2 the count. We have yet to see a Bombers pitcher strike out anybody on the Coyotes yet.
Wow. That is an impressive stat line. I mean, once again, you got to give a lot of credit to these Coyotes. They've had a lot of really tough at-bats, hitting pitches foul. They put the ball in play and made things happen. Benefited from a little bit of luck here and there, but excellent offensive approach nonetheless.
So that pitch inside, 2-2 to Aguilar. Two runners on. It's going to be Cook on first, Murphy on second. Count is now full. Coyotes coming in the ball game in 13th place on a 6-game losing streak. Here's a 3-2, swung on and missed. First strikeout of the day for any Bombers pitchers as Chris Aguilar goes down. Going to be top of the order with Eric Romero with 1 out, 2 runners on.
I gotta say, especially for a catcher, Ronald's got a good arm up there on the mound, going 80, 81, especially sidearm delivery, decent looking breaking ball. It's decent stuff.
Oh, 0-1 the count to Romero. He's gotten on base once and grounded out in his 2 plate appearances in his first inning. Stole base, scored a run. Fouling that one off quickly down on the count, 0-2.
Wonderful to see Chris Aguilar come back out on the mound next inning for the Coyotes. Hudson Myers, the lefty, just finished up his final warm-up tosses in the bullpen. So, wonder if he's just getting warmed up in case Aguilar needs help, or if he'll actually come out and start the 4th.
Two runners on with 1 out. Romero, the leadoff hitter for the Coyotes. He's at the plate. And he's going to go down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts there for Rodman.
That is a really good breaking ball we've seen from Rodman. Just kind of sliding left to right, especially with a sidearm delivery, it makes it that much more nasty.
Alex Zambrano at the plate. Gotten on base twice and had a base hit in the first inning, walked in the second. Here's a pitch from Rodman, going to be fouled back, 0-1 the count. So 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Coyotes, who have a 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1. Popped up into the air. Rodman chasing it in the foul territory, sliding, unable to get it.
That's a really good effort. A lot of room in foul territory, especially as you get close to those dugouts. I am really glad to see Rodman make that slide right there. Make sure he didn't run into the fence or any of those poles.
So 0-2 is the count for Zambrano. Rodman on the hill. Murphy on second, Cook on first. Here's the pitch. Down and away, 1-2 the count.
Frankie George, I give him credit for going after that foul ball. I was one of those guys where when I pitched, I didn't want anything to do with pop-ups. And it didn't make any sense because when I played the infield, I caught my pop-ups too. Pitches are funny sometimes.
Gonna be ripped right through the gap for a base hit. As they're gonna hold up Murphy on third. Bases loaded. Base hit there for Zambrano with 2 outs, bases loaded. Murphy on third, Cook on second. Zambrano on first after a base hit there. Max McGee, he's at the plate. He scored twice for the Coyotes. Walked in the bottom of the first, fielder's choice in the second. 87 miles per hour exit velocity off the bat there from Zambrano.
Oh, he did it that ball hard. I'm amazed how many balls we've seen hitting like the high 80s or even low 90s with these wood bats throughout the season.
And that's going to be a wild pitch there, going to get by. Zambrano going to score. That now puts the Coyotes up 8-zip over the Bombers. Zambrano now on second, Cook on third.
That did not look comfortable by any means. Look, that ball might have hit the forearm there off the bounce of Jason Delvera. Looks like he's okay. Just tough to play catcher. Not much Delvera could have done on that one, especially a slider, the way that bounced up there.
2 outs, 2 runners on for the Coyotes. 8 hits, 8 runs. Here's the 1-0. That's going to get inside. 1-1 the count to Max McGee. Coyotes have scored now in every inning they batted. Here's a 1-1. Chopped up over to Yoshida at second. The throw over to first. In time for out number 3 to Holland. And retired the side, leaving 2 runners on. Coyotes able to score 1 run here. Bottom of the third, they're up 8-0. And it's going to be top of the fourth. Panzica, Gruska, and Young. 3 due up next for the Bombers when we return. Here we are, top of the fourth inning. Matt Penzica leading things off. And there's a pitch there from Myers. Going to be down low, new pitcher. The second pitcher we've seen.
Yeah, coming on relief for Chris Aguilar. Hudson Myers. This will be the 6th time he's pitched this season. He's gone 6 2/3 innings so far. 8 strikeouts to his credit. Want to try and get some work in and help secure a victory for the Coyotes.
Two and one the count. And it's going to be Cooper Winton at the plate, going to be pinch hitting for Matt Penzica, who in one plate appearance walked. 1-2 the count. With Gruska on deck. Lefty on lefty action here. Breaking ball did not break. 2-2 the count. Here's a 2-2 from Myers. Swung on and miss. Winton going to go down swinging. Second strikeout of the day for the Coyotes pitchers. Third strikeout in the game as a whole.
Well, it goes to show, especially with Chris Aguilar getting the start on the mound for the Coyotes, he was able to work ahead in the count consistently for the most part, and frankly, letting his defense do the work. And they've made some really nice plays for him out there.
Fastball up high, 1-0 the count for Gruska. He flew out over the Romero in his only plate appearance today. Here's a 1-0 from Myers, again out and away. Johnny Young on deck for the Bombers. One out, nobody on. Here in the top of the fourth. That pitch going to get inside, strike one.
I like the way Myers right now is working the corners. He's working both the inside and outside part of the plate. Seen a couple of good breaking balls from him too.
Here's a 2-1 from Myers, going to be fouled away. 2-2 is the count.
A nice job working his way back into the count. Falling behind 2-0. Gets a call strike, gets the foul ball right here. I'd like to see an aggressive fastball, try and paint one of the corners.
Again, lefty on lefty action. Here's a 2-2. Popped up, ripped up over into the left field, fouled off. Count still stands 2-2. One out, nobody on. Myers kicks and deals. Going to be out and away. Full count now. Beautiful day in Palm Springs, California, as that's going to be ball number 4.
And back in the third, we did see Chris Aguilar end up walking the bases low. He was able to work his way out of that inning. Walks is the last thing. I know it's only one, but walks are the last thing you want to see right now if you're the Coyotes. You don't want to give the Bombers any kind of ideas of trying to get back into this game.
Bombers down 8 runs here, top of the 4th inning. Johnny Young at the plate, he has a base hit. One of 2 Bombers players to get a base hit on the day. Fastball up high, 1-0.
If I'm Myers, I'm not worrying about the man over at first base. You're up 8-0. He can take second for all I'm concerned. Just worry about playing catch with my catcher.
Here's a 1-0. Another fastball up high.
I don't think I put a take sign on necessarily if I'm Young, but I'm looking for one pitch in one spot. Look, he was taking all the way.
3-0 the count for Johnny Young, who has a base hit for the day in the second inning.
Well, now I'm definitely taking all the way right here. Walk the previous batters, falling behind 3-0. They can throw a strike.
4-pitch walk there for Johnny Young. Back-to-back walks for Myers. Which brings up Troy Holland to the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the day.
Holland grounded into that inning-ending double play in the second with the bases loaded and 1 out. I think about taking a strike if I'm Holland. Hudson Myers has walked the previous 2 batters. Walks have been an issue at times for him. So, if he's gonna keep putting guys on base, it's an opportunity for the Bombers.
1 out, 2 runners on. Here's a pitch from Myers. Another fastball up high, 1-0. Holland grounded out in his only plate appearance of the day in the top of the second inning. Here we are, top of the fourth, where the Coyotes are up 8-0 over the 4-7 Bombers. Here's a 1-0 from Myers. Another fastball up high, 2-0.
I think Myers might need to try and just slow down his delivery a little bit. Find that balance point, get some good extension. He's missing up with these pitches, so that tells me I need to just pull down a little bit more on the follow-through.
That's going to get inside for a strike. 2-1 the count. Last time we saw a strike there from Myers came from Trevor Gruska a few batters ago.
That's a good idea there, actually. Going with a breaking ball. A lot of times when you try and throw a curveball, it forces you to slow down your delivery. That time, good location from Myers.
3-1 the count for the first baseman, Troy Holland.
I know it's 3-1. Normally this is not my mindset, but I say take a pitch here. Already 2 walks have been issued. And so far, Myers just trying to throw strikes, frankly.
3-1, that's going to be chopped up right over Combs. As 1 run's going to come in to score. That's going to be Gruska. Going to walk in on touch. First run of the day for the Bombers. Comes in an RBI single for Troy Holland.
You know, baseball is a funny game sometimes, George. That ground ball, this time got through the hole from Holland. It was a similar ground ball when he hit into that inning-ending double play in the second. This time, leading to the first run of the day for the Bombers, and already able to take advantage of a couple early walks here from Myers.
So 2 runners on with 1 out. Young on second. Holland on first. It's going to be Weinstein. He's at the plate. Here's the pitch from Myers. Chopped up. Murphy going to flip it up over. Chance for 2, and they're able to do so. Great defense there from the Coyotes. Retires the inning. 4-6-3 double play. Retire the side. Bombers able to score 1 run. They still trail by 7 runs. Bottom of the 4th inning, Ben Combs, Garrett Reed, Phil DeMoss. The 3 due up next when we return. Here we are, bottom of the fourth inning. George Hathaway, Evan Schmeiser here on the call. Ben Combs going to lead things off for the Coyotes, bottom of the fourth inning here at Palm Springs Stadium. PSCL action here between the Bombers and Coyotes. It's Coyotes up 8-1.
You know, really impressive day all the way around for the Coyotes, George. We just saw the second double play they've turned so far in just 4 innings played, flushing a whole lot of good defense.
0-1 the count. Rodman still on the mound. Combs 0 for 2 in the ball game. He flew out both of his at-bats. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. He's quickly down to the count 0-2. Beautiful day here, Evan, in Palm Springs, California. Here's the 0-2. Fastball up high, 1-2.
I've been told by several locals, George, all things considered, it's been a very mild June. I believe that. Makes sense from what I've seen.
Breaking ball going to get down, 2-2.
I'm very relieved though that we also get gym memberships while we're out here. Makes going for my runs a lot easier. Having the treadmills.
Here's a 2-2, popped up into the air, shallow right field. King gets underneath that one for the first out. Second time Combs has flew out to King over in right field. So 1 out, it's going to be Garrett Reed. He's been on base twice. Had a base clearing double in the first inning and then was able to advance on an error, score twice as well.
That was an absolute huge hit in that first inning to really get things going with that line drive into the left field corner.
Want to know that's going to be ripped right past Gonzalez over at third. As it took just a bounce, hit his glove, couldn't squeeze onto it. So for the second time, Reed going to advance on an error.
We've seen a few of these balls throughout the season. You don't necessarily know what kind of hops you'll get with the infield. Sometimes you get to the edge, the lip of that grass. We've seen balls kick up, sometimes even up over the infielders' heads, or even that first hop onto the dirt. So it's an error, but it's a tough error.
Up high, Phil DeMoss. He's 2 for 2 on the day, has a base hit, stole, has a run, also recorded a double. Going to be chopped up, going to get down for a base hit. Have yourself a day, Phil DeMoss. A hat trick there, has 3 hits on the day.
Absolutely right. Once again, not trying to do too much. More than happy to go the opposite way this time. And the hit parade continues. 9 hits so far. Here we stand in the 4th.
Nico Cristelli, the catcher, he's at the plate. 0 for 2 on the day, looking to get his first hit with Reed in scoring position on second. One out, fastball there from Rodman inside, strike 1.
Chance, George, we might play the 5th, and that could be it, depending on the 2-hour time limit. A little over 20 minutes remaining as far as that's concerned.
One and one the count for Cristelli. Murphy's he's on deck. As there goes Reed. The throw over, not in time. Double steal there. It's now 2 runners in scoring position. So Coyotes are up by 7 runs over the Bombers. They're looking to add on more.
Well, it's an excellent jump there from Garrett Reed. I mean, Bombers weren't really paying much attention to him over there. I don't blame him for going to take third. He made him pretty easily. Nice job from Dimas following him up to second. Take away a double play, too.
2-1. That's going to be ripped up over to Yoshida at second. And he's going to be safe. 1 run's going to come in to score. As that's Garrett Reed. They're up 9-1.
And officially the 10th hit of the day for the Coyotes. Pretty good pitch there. Nonetheless, ball hit kind of off the hands of Cristelli, but Yoshida was playing way over towards the second base bag, had to go deep into the hole, and I think ball might have gotten stuck in his glove for a second. He had the double clutch, and it was too late.
So 1 out, runners on the corners for the Coyotes. DeMoss on third, Cristelli on first. Tyler Murphy at the plate, gotten on base twice, has a base hit in the third, and scored a run there as well. 1-0 count to him with Rodman on the hill. Here's the pitch. That's going to be lined up over to Weinstein. Chance for 2. That's going to get away. Murphy, he wanted to go to second, but Cristelli was just kind of sitting at the plate there. DeMoss going to come in to score for the Coyotes. As that is going to now put him up 10-1 here in the ball game. 1-0 the count for Cook. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning.
So it looks like that'll go down as a fielder's choice and RBI for Murphy. Technically not allowed to assume a double play. Looks like a little bit close. A good throw might have had him. Good effort nonetheless, especially with the lead runner.
Coyotes up 10-1 here in the ball game. 2-0 count for Cook. He's reached on base twice as well. Had a base hit in the first inning, advanced off an error in the third. Here's a 2-0 from Rodman. That's going to get inside, top of the strike zone, 2-1 the count for him.
Nobody up in either bullpen, so I'll expect to see Hudson Myers come back out to pitch a second inning for the Coyotes.
Count knotted up at 2 apiece with 2 outs, 1 runner on. That's going to be lined up over Gruska. Unable to go get that. That's going to go right through his legs. Coming in to score, Murphy all the way from first. And that puts the Coyotes up huge by 10 runs, 11-1. Cook getting on base for the 3rd time today. So back-to-back errors Cook's going to advance on. That one comes on Gruska. As swing and miss there from Chris Aguilar. He struck out in the 3rd inning. 2 outs, runner in scoring position, that's Cook. After Murphy comes in to score for the Coyotes, puts them up 11-1 here in the ball game. 2 outs, here's a pitch from Rodman, fouled back. Aguilar quickly down the count, 0-2. Here's the 0-2, popped up into the air. Shallow center field. Penzika finds it in the sun, gets underneath it for out number 3. It's going to retire the inning. However, 3 runs able to come in to score for the Coyotes. Puts them up 11-1 here as we go top of the 5th inning when we return. Here we are, top of the 5th inning. Myers on the mound again, pitching to Gavin Frazier. Yes, he's going to be pinch hitting for Nolan Maldonado in the 5th inning. One and one the count to Gavin Frazier. Maldonado got on base twice in his tenure at the plate.
George, I saw a report. It's like there's a base hit in the right field. Looks like USC and UCLA are in talks to join the Big Ten. You're a big college sports guy. What do you think of that?
Wouldn't be too bad, I don't think, for the Big Ten, but it's going to shake things up because, I mean, usually look at the Pac-12 and, you know, that's really mostly West Coast teams, California teams, so it's going to shake things up because when you look at Big Ten, that's mostly, you know, you have the Wisconsins, the Michigans, those types of schools.
USC is really excited about their season coming up, too.
So 0-1 the count here with Frazier. He's on first. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be down and away. Avery Hubbard, he's at the dish, pinch hitting for Aiden King. 0-2 the count for him.
Best thing the Coyotes can ask for from Hudson Myers is keep throwing strikes. Doesn't matter if they get a couple hits. We already saw last inning some excellent defense trying to double play behind Myers to get out of a jam. Chance maybe turn a third double play of the game for the Coyotes.
Christian Maccabee, he's on deck for the Bombers. No outs. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball, down low, 1-2 the count for Hubbard.
Did Texas officially join the SEC, George?
Not to my recollection. I have no idea. I've not been up to date with that. Is this going to be a 2-2 count for Hubbard? That pitch was up high.
Very excited they got Arch Manning. Maybe they can finally play up to expectations this season.
Here's a 2-2. Swing on and miss. And that's going to be out number one as Hubbard's going to go down swinging, which brings up Christian Maccabee.
Looks like Aiden Weinstein's warming up in the bullpen for the Bombers.
Swing and miss there from Maccabee. Pinch hitting for Paul Gonzalez.
We've not seen Weinstein pitch this season, so it could be interesting if he gets the opportunity. In that in-between time space right now, not sure if we'll continue the game after this inning.
As that is going to be a slow dribbler up to Combs at first for out number 2. Julian Gonzalez, he's going to be pinch hitting for Jason Del Villar. Del Villar went 1 for 2 in his tenure. Here's a pitch there from Myers, line back, 0-1 the count.
Almost sounds like the Misters are blowing a little more aggressively now. We'll take that all day long.
Oh, 0-1 is the count. Here's a pitch from Myers, breaking ball down in the dirt, 1-1. So Frazier, he's on second with 2 outs. Coyotes up 11-1 here, top of the 5th inning. So they're looking to snap a 6-game losing streak as that's grounded up over Zimbano.
Oh, he just
and
ran
now
into an out.
they're in a pickle here with Frazier. as he's going to slip up on the base pass, and that's going to be out number 3. As we now go to the bottom of the 5th inning when we return. Set for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Eric Romero going to lead things off. 4th time we're going to see him. Yet to record a hit, but he's gotten on base once and scored a run as well in the bottom of the 1st inning.
We have a new pitcher on the mound, Aiden Weinstein. First time making his pitching appearance, usually an outfielder. He's recorded 5 outfield assists throughout the season, so see how that good arm can translate on the mound. A little bit of mop-up work for the Bombers. Save some arms.
1-1 the count for Romero, who struck out most recently. Throwing in the high 70s, as that's going to be fouled back. Romero down the count 1-2.
Now, George, we were talking about college sports a moment ago. Big Duke guy, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, when it comes to college basketball, that's my team. Probably not liked amongst many, many people in the country when it comes to college basketball. But I will say, though, been a big East guy. Had the privilege to cover that during the Big East tournament. Able to write for him as well, so that's why, of course, I love the Big East basketball. Nothing better than that. Is that's going to be chopped up over to Yoshida at second. The throw over to Hollins in time for out 1.
That's pretty awesome, George, to say the least.
Yeah, it was a fun experience, actually. That's when I realized in sports industry, going to be long days. Drove into New York, having
Oh, you drove in there.
Yes.
You didn't take a train?
no, drove in from
Oh,
Connecticut.
That's brave.
5-hour drive. Got in there 5 a.m. I drove. Got there at 10 a.m. Didn't go to bed until 3 a.m. the next
Well,
morning.
you got in at 10 a.m.?
Yes, with traffic.
Oh, that's brutal.
As here's a pitch from Weinstein, gonna be upstairs 1-0. But yeah,
Where'd you even park?
parking garage.
Oh, okay. Pretty standard.
Yes, found one of those close by, walking distance from the hotel I stayed at. So everything was kind of within like a 2-minute walk of each other. That's going to get inside 1-1 to count
that's
for
helpful.
Zambano.
It's a cool area by Madison Square Garden. Lots of good shopping places, too. I've gone a few times walking around there.
Yeah, I wasn't able to shop because I didn't have time.
Oh, all
did,
right.
did eat at a nice diner though that was in the hotel I stayed at, which is really good. As that's going to be a 1-2 count.
Not the Ritz-Carlton, I assume.
No, it was called the New Yorker.
Oh, still sounds pretty fancy.
It wasn't bad. It was not bad. I kind of treated myself for the week.
Good deal.
It was my spring break week. Spent it covering basketball, so that, nothing wrong with that. I treated myself. Got a room with a view. Paid a little extra money for it. It's still 1-2 count for Zambrano.
Is that on view of the bay?
No, just view of just the Empire State Building, actually.
Okay, pretty good too.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful view. Can't beat it there. It's about 2,000 miles away from here. As that's going to be hit up over the head of in the short. And that's going to get down for a base hit for Alex Zambrano, his third of the day.
We've talked about it a few times. We have an Astros fan, not up here, one of our analytics guys. I was living in New York City for the fall 2019 semester, so I got to see games. It was 4 and 5 of the ALCS, Yankees against the Astros. Verlander on the mound for Game 5. The Yankees won that game to send it back to Houston. Boy, is that rivalry fierce, George, to say the least. That was before all the other stuff came out. A lot of those Yankee fans have more animosity against the Astros than they do against the Red Sox. But frankly, that's sacrilegious, but that's just the way those young guys are doing it.
Pitch there from Weinstein, 0-2 count to Max McGee. He's yet to record a hit. Was walked in the first, fielder's choice in the second, grounded out in the third.
I know you're a Red Sox fan.
Yes, that I am. That's what happens when you grow up in the Northeast.
Yep.
As that's chopped up over to Gonzalez at third. A throw over in time for out number 2. As Zambrano going to advance over to second. Mark that down 5-3 for those keeping score at home.
Sadly, I'm a Phillies fan. We had a good 5-year run during my childhood, and then I didn't realize till afterwards that was a major honeymoon. It's been a rough 11 years, George. We just lost Harper till September.
Yes, I did see those reports, actually. So here's a pitch from Weinstein. That's going to be outside. 1-0 the count. Ben Combs, he's at the dish. 0 for 3 in the ball game. As the Coyotes, they are up 11-1 against the Bombers in PSCL action this morning at Palm Springs Stadium. Popped up into the air. As that's going to be out number 3. Going to retire the side.
Wonder if that'll be it. I don't see anyone taking the field. That might be it, George. Or is it? See Hudson Myers walking out. It's this awkward in-between phase. It's like the umpires are talking about it. Hudson Myers walking out there. He looks ready. I don't know if anyone else on the Coyotes is ready, though. It's exactly 11 o'clock here on the West Coast. So let's see. I have Hudson Myers out on the mound. Somebody's back there warming up, and I think I just heard somebody say they are going to play one more inning. So it looks like the Coyotes will get ready to take the field, possibly for one more half inning.
Here we are, top of the 6th inning. We're still playing here at Palm Springs Stadium as the Coyotes are up 11-1 over the Bombers, as they're on pace to snap a 6-game losing streak as they are dead last in the PSCL, 13th place, 0-1 the count for Jason Del Villar.
This could be a really big win for the Coyotes. They're trying to avoid that play-in game in order to get into the playoffs between the 12 and the 13 seeds, because they're only about a game and a half behind 4 different teams going into today, and still a few games to play for just about every single team.
Two 2-1 the count for Del Villar, excuse me.
As taking a look once again at the standings, Blue Sox and the A's both at 10-3 coming into today's games. The A's have the tiebreaker. Lumberjacks right behind, half game behind at 9-3. Grizzly at 7-4. Coyotes, as George mentioned, came into today the 13th seed, a half game behind the Haymakers. And where are those Bombers at?
8th place.
There we are, at 4-7. This will be a big loss for the Bombers, because that could get them close to that 12th seed. Thanks for the assist there, George. I needed it.
So that's going to be ball number 4. Which brings up Cooper Winton to the plate. Del Villar going to be walked over on first. Cooper Winton, in his only plate appearance today, struck out. With Myers, he's on the mound. Here's a pitch from him. Going to be way upstairs. 1-0 the count.
Also something to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, coming up on Monday, July 4th, the annual All-Star Game, as the best of the best here in the 13-team PSCL League will take on the Power.
As that's chopped up over to Murphy at second, gets by him for a base hit. As that's now going to advance Del Villar on second. Cooper Winton records his first hit of the day. As Trevor Gruska going to be batting for the 3rd time here in the ball game for the Bombers, who trail by 10 runs here in the top of the 6th inning. Gruska flew out over Romero in the 2nd, then walked, scored a run in the 4th. The only run, as a matter of fact, for the Bombers here in the ball game.
I can't say enough of the defense from the Coyotes. They've turned 2 big double plays to escape from a couple jams, one with the bases loaded, another first and second, 1-out jam.
As attempting the jumping catch there was Murphy. It just got over his glove. It's going to be another base hit. Back-to-back hits here for the Bombers. Puts bases loaded with no outs. Myers, he's on the mound.
And this is still a pretty good pitch on the inside part of the plate from Hudson Myers. It's a really good job pulling the hands in, just kind of serving that ball into right field. Good effort from Tyler Murphy over at second base. And Hudson Myers has been really, really good. He's dealt with some base runners, but he's been around the plate for the most part.
0-1 the count for Johnny Young. He's 1 for 1 on the day as a base hit and walked in the 4th. Been on base twice for him. Here's the 0-1. Ripped down right field. That's going to be fouled off.
Ooh, Bombers got real excited there for a moment. I would have scored at least 2 runs, if not 3. You know, George, you see some work being done down below us in the market. You could have to assume that's some prep work being done for Independence Day coming up on Monday. Fireworks afterwards, it's, based on what I've been told, it's like the Super Bowl of the season around here.
That's going to get by the glove of Zambano, as 2 runs going to come in to score here for the Bombers. Del Villar and Winton come in to score. As Johnny Young have 2 RBIs there.
And once again, good things happen when you're able to put the ball in play. The ball wasn't hit particularly hard, but John Young able to find the hole on the left side, and finally the Bombers able to take advantage of getting runners on base. And still an opportunity, still nobody out.
Pitch there from Myers inside, strike one for Holland. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's a base hit in the fourth, his last plate appearance. 2 runners on. Coyotes still up 8 runs, 11-3 over the Bombers as 2 runs just came in to score. Big swing and miss there on the breaking ball. No outs here.
I think Troy Holland had a 3-run homer on his mind. You know, George, we've had our share of home runs in the PSCL League. I have not seen one yet in person. I'm raring to go. Ball travels well during the day out here.
1-2 the count. Evan, I've seen 2. I've also called 2 of them. Both of them actually being Spencer Dickinson, hitting some home runs for the Chill. Both of them over the left field wall as well.
How about that? It's deep down the lines out here, 350 feet both ways.
Here's a 1-2 from Myers. That's going to be grounded up over. And they're able to get Holland out at first. For the first out of the inning.
Oh, nice job by Hudson Myers getting over there to cover. It was a little bit of a tough play over there on the right side of the infield. Ball was kind of bouncing all sorts of ways. Eventually Ben comes able to come up with it, and a good feed leading Myers to the first base bag.
Keaton Walker going to be batting now. In that 9-hole spot, 1-0 the count. He will be pinch hitting for Aiden Weinstein, who was just pitching for the Bombers. 1-1 the count for Walker.
From the Coyotes' perspective, we really hope that an effort like today can really be a good momentum shift, especially after losing 6 games coming into this one. You have a dominant performance today, just in time getting ready for the postseason.
Going to be fouled off. 1-2 the count for Walker.
Now, a few guys in our ranks in the analytics crew are not big believers in the idea of momentum, but I beg to differ. This is a big win for the Coyotes.
Here's a pitch from Myers, fouled back once again. Walker fighting at the plate for another pitch. Two runners on for the Bombers. Gruska over on third, Young on second. As that's going to get Walker looking for strikeout number 1 on the day for Myers.
And once again, it's a testament to the really good defense the Coyotes have played. They've only made 1 error so far in this game, and only 4 strikeouts total for Coyotes pitching. So the defense has had to work, and they've done a really good job.
Pitcher Myers upstairs to Gavin Frazier. 1-0 is the count. That's going to get inside 1-1 on the breaking ball there.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, immediately following this game right here, we'll have the Bootleggers taking on the Dragons right here at Palm Springs Stadium.
Here's a 1-1. Frazier going to chop that one up through the glove of Zambrano. 2 runs going to come in to score for the Bombers, and they've cut the deficit within 6. As it's now 5-11, Bombers still trail.
I mean, second time we've seen this inning, a ball hit to the left side, getting through the hole. Really good effort there from Zambrano over a third on the diving attempt, not able to come up with it. And this is a good showing for the Bombers right here in the last inning. Able to put 4 runs on the board, try and salvage something out of this loss today.
Maybe chopped up over, and that's going to retire the inning. And that will be the ball game as well. Coyotes, they snap a 6-game losing streak with an 11-5 win over the Bombers. Off of 11 hits as well. Very productive day. So Bombers fall to 4-8 on the season. Coyotes 4-9. It's 2 games in a row that the Bombers have lost. As that'll do it from us here in the booth. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Evan Schmeiser, I'm George Hathaway. Thank you for tuning in this morning. PSCL action between the Bombers and Coyotes. But make sure to stick around.